Hey, my gosh, it's Thursday. The sun is beaming in. It's freezing cold here. It's in the mid-20s. Oh, man. That was weird. I woke up and I'm like, are you kidding me? Is this really what we're going to do? Holy cow. This show comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. It is the 22nd of April, just like that. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
Hi, I'm Sarah Rook Ruck-Roosh, and I listen to the Eric Zane Show podcast because he's an idiot, swears like a trucker, loves puppy dogs, and gave away a kidney. Now here he is, Eric Zane!
I think that might be my favorite intro. She's got it. Sarah Rook Ruck-Roosh just has it. I think were you a theater kid? I mean, you followed all the instructions. You hammered it out there, and then you had me the big send-off with here he is, Eric. That's the way I like it. You followed all those directions, so clearly you're a good listener, and you've just got the right tempo and pacing. I mean, they're all excellent. It's like every time I play an intro, I'm like, well, this one's my favorite. No. This one's my favorite. They're all my favorites, but it's just a great job. Thank you. And she talked into a cell phone. Just talked into a cell phone and busted out the lines and then sent them my way. And then that's that. That's all you have to do. I have a couple that I need to make still. I got to put that on the list. I know Linda sent me one, and I cannot recall if anyone else has. If you ever send me audio for an intro, when you send it, could you write in the subject line intro, or it's somewhere include intro in there? Because then if I search it by subject, they'll all pop up because I'm an idiot. She just said it. He's an idiot, and I am. So if you've sent one and you think, well, I haven't heard it yet, Zane, can you let me know so that because I'm missing it. I'm pretty bad. Each and every day, I could probably work 25 hours a day. Yes, 24 plus 1. There's so much stuff to do all the time, and I'm just constantly, every time I think that, you ever see when people are like piles of paperwork on their desk and then more people are adding to it? That's me. I'm that guy. I'm constantly getting more stuff added to the pile. But I am not complaining. I would not have it any other way. This show, as you know, is a daily podcast where I discuss news, check, nonsense, stupid stories, and my personal adventures. Seems to work. I've done it this way for nearly 2.5 years, and I'll do it until there's only one person left, and then when they leave me, then I'm done. So that's it. Wash, rinse, repeat. And let me just say this. I don't know why people who podcast seem to I don't want to say have more nerve, but the willingness to actually be frank, have a frank conversation about the things going on in the world. And I don't mean disrespect. I just don't understand why radio no longer does this. And when I say I mean no disrespect, I mean that. No disrespect, but I would love to know why. And you can't just say, well, it's no fun, or, well, everybody gets mad. Well, no shit. That's the point of it. You're supposed to draw something out of the listener. And if I'm going to sit here around a microphone, you better damn well be sure that I'm going to talk about what, the entire world is talking about, and let the chips fall as they may. Like I said, once it leaves my mouth, it's not my problem anymore. You can do with it whatever the hell you want. I don't care. So I don't understand because I know they all want to talk about it, but yet too many don't. Why? Can you explain it to me? And you can't just say, well, it's no fun, or some fourth grade response. You got to actually give me something. Do you maybe not have the ability to do it? Tony and Michelle would be perfect because you just have the two, okay? Gates and Michelle. And whether you agree or not, I guess you could go the way of point counterpoint. If there is a disagreement about whatever issue it may be, Chauvin, LeBron, which I'm going to get into in a second, politics, COVID. Fucking man up and woman up. Put on your big girl and big boy pants and break this shit down, because that's what the world is talking about. What are you doing? Don't waste anybody's time with this nonsense. I mean, I love you dearly, Michelle, but you should be taking charge of it. You're the brains of the operation there. You should be like, let's get into this shit now, because you've got an opinion. So what the hell's taking so long? Don't sit there and talk to me about Tony's bird of the day or food of the day or other horse shit like that. Get this shit done, man. Same thing, free beer and hot wings. It's deafening. The silence is deafening. When is radio going to get the idea that the reason why podcasting is kicking their ass is because there's all these voices and not a one of them is actually saying anything? Nothing. They sit there and ignore the stories, the big things that people are talking about. What makes a podcaster different? There's still ramifications. If I or any podcaster takes a stand on anything, we still run the same risks that you do. We could scare people away. So what's going on there? Well, I mean, to me, you're doing more damage by not saying a damn thing about these things. Because, frankly, you can still have tons of fun if you do it appropriately and know what you're doing. But you know what? It isn't even so much fun. It's about the fact that people listening to you, this is what they're talking about. That's what they want to talk about. So I don't get it. I don't understand. It's yet another nail in the coffin of radio in general. And I mentioned those two particular shows, but you can turn on any radio station in America and nobody talks about this shit. Not a one. The only ones that do are the ones that are solely on the left or solely on the right. And you know me, I'm not, because I base it on a case-by-case basis. And I know that you all agree with me on all of these things. I know you all know that I'm right? Maybe not. Okay. So that's kind of where there's a lot of things that I'm going to park on today and plant my flag in. So just bear with me. It's going to be all over the board. First of all, as you know, the show comes to you live each and every morning at about this same time, 8 o'clock Eastern time on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Please like the page. Share the video. Like the video. It's brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Periscope video on Twitter. I'm at Eric Zane Show on Twitter. I would appreciate the follow. It does help. I get internet points for all of these things. If you would, retweet it with a snarky comment about something mean. Say something ridiculous about me. Retweet it with a snarky comment. And then on YouTube, Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification, thumbs up button, and off you go. I'm on Instagram. I've been so damn ridiculously busy that I've been struggling to get the game that I like to play called Instagram Instant Trivia done in a timely fashion. I will make those up. I can promise you that. But it's just been one thing after another with hockey and all these things kind of like cascading down on me. It's getting busier and busier. Again, no complaints. Instagram brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Okay. If you ever want to email me, send it along, eric@ericzaneshow.com. About anything at all, you can be the email of the day. And email is up, sponsored by Shoreliner Striping, legendary American Hockey League referee Tim Mayer, who I just saw for the second night in a row calling a great game. When Tim calls a penalty, this is American Hockey League action last night. And, you know, he's hilarious because he sees something, the hand goes up, boarding, and then the guy's like, what? And he just looks at him, points at him, and goes, get in the box. Don't say another word. Get in the box. Get in the box. Oh, it's great. Mayor is the owner of Shoreliner Striping, so he stripes by day. He refs by night. Hell yes, if you need the parking lot stripe, that's who you call. Shoreliner Striping in West Michigan, online at shorelinerstriping.com. And they'll travel a bit. It isn't just West Michigan, okay? So just bang on their door. They'll tell you what's up. All right. One of these dogs just farted, and it's wrecking me right now. Come on. Jeez. That is rough. Oh. Okay. So last night, another great hockey game. Man, I love those. I'm looking ahead. You know, we're going to play games up to like mid-March. And doing those on TV has been quite an experience. I've found my new favorite thing, and that is being a silly goose on TV. I don't have a lot of responsibilities. I think the most pressure is coming up with narration for the highlights. So in between the first and second period, in between the second, third period, there's like a highlight package, 40 seconds to a minute and a half of highlights, depending on the game. And okay, when I first started doing this, it was boom goes the dynamite. That's how I sounded. And so I'm like, this sucks. I've got to improve this. And then I started hearing rumblings that it sucks. So I'm like, oh God, I got to do better. So then I started like writing down notes of things I'm going to talk about during the game, during the highlight package. So then that was fine. It worked out okay. And then lately I've been like, just let me see the highlights. I don't even need any notes. Okay. Just let me see the highlights. So with like 2 minutes to go in the period, they show me in a preview screen the highlights that they're going to show. And the problem with last night was the first period highlights, there's no goals. There's nothing. It was awful. And I'm like, how the hell am I going to do this? So, but I managed. All right. Second to third period, much the same. One goal, I think, for the Cleveland Monsters. So, all right, there's that. Now they have me as the second period gets started. And, well, actually, at various points in the game, they put the camera on me and I like pump up the crowd like I used to do when I was between the boxes. So they do that now. And, but it's at a different location because I'm in my little, I guess they call it a studio. It's an area above the rink where I'm looking down in one of the corners. And so then I pump up the crowd and we're going into the third period. We're down 1-0. I'm like, come on, we got to go get 2 goals. And lo and behold, they got 2 goals. They scored 2 in the third period for another come from behind win. It was awesome. I'll post the highlights for you in the show notes of this podcast. One more thing I forgot to mention. The show is always downloadable audio. And the replays, I should say, are available of the live streams on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter after they are done. You can watch those at your leisure or just download the audio wherever you download podcasts or at ericzaneshow.com. If you could, on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, review. Give me 5 stars. Say something about the show. I would love to hear what you think. That balances out all the troublemakers who always want to screw with me. There are just people who don't like me in the world and say awful things. Like the guy the other day who made reference, said, I hired a known pedophile. Look, I did not know that was a pedophile. That was a surprise to me, too, that I hired a pedophile. And that when I found out that I hired a pedophile, that was the last day that the pedophile worked at the radio station. So that's a bunch of bullshit if you're saying that I knowingly hired a pedophile. On Tuesday of this week, J to the P wrote hit and miss. Sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes there's too much Kenny. I think this is John and Jennison. Sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes there's too much Kenny. It's a good waste of time and way better than the radio show that spawned his fame. Well, you know what? I'll take that. That's actually not the worst review. If that's it, if is that your big complaint? Sometimes too much Kenny? What? What is that supposed to mean? All right. I've had worse reviews. All right. So there you go. I talked to my boy Jason Mays yesterday, the AMSOIL distributor, and I said, okay, buddy, it's going down. He goes, yeah, it's about time or some shit like that. It's like, don't give me any of your shit. Just get me the oil. Now, As you know, I take our cars over to Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid, but I really want to change the oil on the embellisher. I want to be a man. I want to do this. All I need now is the set of car ramps. I ordered the 2 gallons of oil from Mays yesterday. He ordered me the oil filter and the little wrench thing that goes on the damn deal. Yes, this is going to happen. Against all of everybody is telling me, Zane, don't do it. Don't. My dad is saying don't do it. I just got an email from somebody saying don't do it, Zane. This is going to work out. I know I can do this. I even know all the tricks. I even know that when you get that oil filter, okay, that you're supposed to take a little bit of oil and put it on that little rubber gasket, on the oil. You didn't think I knew that, did you? But I actually used to change my oil all the time. And then so that when you put it on, when it goes snug against the engine block or whatever, when you screw it in there, there's a little bit of lubrication there. I know these things. I could do this job. I could change oil. So that's happening. The oil is on its way. It'll be delivered. I'm podcasting tonight with the one and only Ben Glaze. The Ben and Eric Patreon podcast happens tonight. All right? On Patreon. So, you can expect the Bet on Ben game. You can expect the review of Ben's shitty Twitter jokes. You can expect the live audience on Zoom and whatever else trouble we get into. Ben reminded me of a story yesterday, and it might be worth telling again. It was because we were talking about, what the hell were we talking about? Okay, I think the topic yesterday was the story about the teacher, the 31-year-old teacher, and she had an affair with like a 12 or 13-year-old boy or something like that. And I think Ben was listening, and he says, why don't you tell the story about when that older chick started making out with you? And it wasn't nearly as sinister as what that sounds like, but I think it was, I think we're definitely going to get into that story on the Patreon. I don't want to say anything else about it, but all right, that'll be part of it. That comes up tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Patreon. Now, I have a list of people that I send emails to join me on the Zoom. If you don't think you're on that, or if you just want to remind me, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. You must be a Patreon member, okay? This is for Patreon members only. So your face is going to line up in the Zoom. You're going to be featured. I'm going to talk to you. It's almost like you're part of the show. It's another reason to join Patreon, all right? Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, if you're on Patreon and you want to be in on it. I can't remember everybody. I kind of okay, so-and-so, 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 and then I fire off the email. If you don't want to make sure that you're not forgotten and you're on Patreon, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Okay. Let's get into this deal about LeBron, okay? So, this comes from the story out of Columbus, Ohio, where right at the exact same time that Chauvin was being convicted of second and third degree murder and the manslaughter charge, at about that same time, near Columbus, Ohio, there was a domestic violence issue going on. There was a 911 call made by some people in a community that live there and said, hurry, come help us. We need help. So-and-so is swinging a knife. She tried to stab grandma. Now, that's true. That's what was on the 911 call. I don't have the audio in front of me, but these folks are in deep shit. They're wondering what's up, and there's some person swinging a knife trying to kill people. The cop shows up. The chick in black, she swings a knife at one chick who goes down. Another dude tries to kick her, like stomp her, while the first chick with the knife, she turns on this other chick in the pink. This all happens in 11 seconds. This cop gets out of his car and goes, hey, hold on, stop. And this chick, she brings her arm back and she's going to jam that knife right into this chick in the pink. She's going to get stabbed. Cop uses deadly force because she's going to get stabbed. And everybody's black in this, by the way. So he saved the life of this black chick in the pink. Pulls out his pistol, shoots this chick dead. Okay? Excuse me. Now, there are so many different jumping off points on this story that are absolutely crazy. The cops are called because crazy 16-year-old is attacking people with a knife. At that point, the cop is there to try to protect and serve. Make no mistake, this is 1,000,000% different than Derek Chauvin killing George Floyd. The only similarities in this story between George Floyd and this family and the 16-year-old getting shot is that they happen to be African American. There are no other similarities. None. Okay? The deadly force that was used was 1,000,000% appropriate because this hero cop saved the life of this young girl who was about to get stabbed by the 16-year-old. I don't give a shit if she's 3 years old. If somebody's trying, well, that would probably make a difference. But you get my point. You know, the cops saved the life of this kid. Now, as you and I know in this story, which is getting bigger by the second, it's sold to the world. Okay, the media is so at fault for this. It's sold to the world as Chauvin verdict is read, unarmed black girl killed by cop. Okay, not unarmed. She was aggressively trying to kill somebody herself, and this cop saved the day. So that whole positioning of the story like this is absolute horseshit. And then once that genie is out of the bottle, that's all the world needs to see. Despite, this is why the Columbus police released this video so quickly. That's them saying, hold up, you got to look. But even the mayor of Columbus, everybody's like, today we lost a 16-year-old girl. We lost her. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Today you saved another girl. This cop saved this fucking chick who was about to get stabbed by this maniac who was swinging a knife recklessly and enraged. What do you want him to do? To go, hey, knock it off there. This is bullshit. So they released that video to show the deadly force was necessary. But for some reason, stupid people see this and they go, that doesn't matter to me. Justice needs to be served. And it's like, well, I don't know that it does. It seems like justice was served. This guy saved the life. I mean, we need to talk to the parents of the chick in the pink whose life was saved by this cop. And I say, what would you rather have the cop done there? Would you rather have said, hey, knock it off, or then use the deadly force the way that he did? And you get some people that are saying, yeah, I should have tasered. Well, first of all, it just does not work that way. First of all, using a taser doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be success in preventing that knife from being plunged into somebody. It doesn't always work that way. Deadly force was 1,000,000% necessary in this case. That's why they released that footage so quickly. So I was very concerned with the story because I read it as one way, and then I saw the footage. Like, well, holy shit, it paints a completely different picture. Now, you know me. When it comes to the Chauvin trial, I thought for sure 100% that guy was guilty of the charges, and it proved to be true. I was a little surprised that it went the way that it did. I thought that the jury would have convicted him of manslaughter, but I'm very happy that it went the way that it did. So not everything has to be a matter of race. That's all I'm saying here. It's not. This isn't about the white cop versus the black people. And you know what's interesting is after the cop shot the 16-year-old, and all the people that were there that were involved in this said, "What are you doing? She's just a kid." And it's like, yeah, dude, huh? What do you expect? What do you want him to do? It was terrible. Okay. So then, and I don't have any problem with LeBron James weighing in on social issues. I'm not that guy to condemn anybody. I want people to weigh in on social issues, even when they're wrong, which he is. He's 1,000,000% wrong. LeBron James tweeted yesterday. I want to make sure I get this right. The tweet showed a picture of the cop who actually fired the bullets that actually killed the young person. And which I thought they were keeping his identity, from the public, but somehow he found this out. And LeBron tweeted, "You're next," with an hourglass indicating time is ticking and you'll be brought to justice. And, swing and a miss. That's why I titled this podcast "Swing and a Miss" for LeBron, because this hero cop saved the life of a young black girl. So this doesn't make sense here. And believe me, I'm not the guy to ever tell anybody what to say or how they feel. I mean, LeBron does what he wants to do. And I think when you do that, you do have a tendency to step in it. And he stepped in it. So then I saw that he deleted the tweet. And I said, oh, okay, that's a dirty delete. And that's fine if he does delete it. That means he's realizing that there's more to the story when he sees that the 16-year-old was about to plunge a knife into the chick and this cop is a hero. I'm thinking, okay, great. So when it all went down, it said, "You're next," and accountability. Okay. But then it was deleted. So what's going on there? Well, then he goes back to Twitter. And by the way, the young lady who's dead, who was swinging the knife and about to kill somebody, was Ma'Khia Bryant. James comes back onto Twitter, and he would almost have been better off just leaving the first post up, because he kind of starts to walk it back, and then he goes back the other direction. So you got the first tweet, which was way off the mark, deletes it, and then he makes two more tweets and kind of starts walking it back to the other side and then brings it back. It's weird. I'll read it to you exactly what he wrote. And he kind of mistypes in the beginning, because he wrote anger in all caps, and he wrote, "Does any of us any good?" But I think what he meant to say was, anger does not do any of us any good, and that includes myself. Okay, so right there, that's him saying, I was angry, and so that's what you get when you're angry. And for me, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here in a glass house and say that I've never not said something. I mean, I've done this all the time, said stupid shit when I'm angry. So if he starts to walk it back and that's your starting point, do it, man. I don't have any problem with any of that. And then he says, gathering all the facts and education does, though, meaning gathering all the facts does do us good. So you get where he's going. He's going, I'm gathering facts and I'm understanding. And, now, can we expect him to say this cop is a hero? No. I mean, that'd be ridiculous to think that. He says, my anger is still here for what happened that little girl. I think he means to that little girl. Now, this is where it starts to get a little murky. What happened to that little girl, as you put it, was the threat was eliminated because she was about to murder somebody. So you can't really say, if he wrote, I am angry that little girl was trying to kill another little girl, that would be appropriate. But nothing happened to her. She did all of this. She was going to kill somebody, and the cop saved that other kid's life. Come on. He adds, my sympathy for her family, and may justice prevail. Well, I hate to tell you this, but the cop saving the life of another person is not going to be weighed in the halls of justice. Lady, you know that whole scare the blindfolded lady justice? This is not going to be scrutinized the way you think it's going to be scrutinized. This looks to me like textbook life-saving police work, if you want my honest-to-God opinion. Did it work out terribly? Well, of course. But she was about to kill somebody, and somebody lived because of it. Now that cop has to live with the fact that he had to kill a 16-year-old girl. My prayers go out to him. And then LeBron says prayers, and he does the black fist, and then the heart, and a crown. He does emojis of prayer, emojis of black fist, emojis of heart, and a crown. Okay. All right. My sympathy for her family, yeah, I would say that is appropriate. Sympathy for the family. They probably feel terrible. I don't have any problem with any of that shit. But may justice prevail. I don't think this will see any bit of scrutiny in the world of justice. It's going to be professionals and the police force look at it. Maybe a DA might look at it, and they're going to go, well, looks to me like somebody was doing their job. His second tweet that I'm going to scrutinize, which, frankly, it's my job to do this. And it isn't about me being an asshole or anything like that, because I don't think I am. I'm being fair. I have no problem. Let me reiterate, no problem with LeBron James saying anything. I encourage that. It can also, if you're going to do that, though, what you say needs to be looked at. And so that's what I'm doing. LeBron adds, I'm so damn tired of seeing black people killed by police. I think that the cop here is colorblind. The cop who fired the bullets is colorblind, and it wouldn't have mattered if these were white people or black people or any. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with that. This is race is not an issue in this case. This is 11 seconds of the cop acting quickly to save another life. So it's inappropriate for you to play this race card in this story. It doesn't fit. It doesn't apply. He then follows up with, I took the tweet down because it's being used to create more hate. I think you took the tweet down is actually probably more because you realized it's very inappropriate and doesn't apply here. And this is my opinion, you saying that it's being used to create more hate is twisting this so that you don't look like a bitch, because no one likes to look like a bitch. When I say something stupid publicly and then I take it down and walk it back like I did about DMX, yeah, I feel like a little bit of an asshole, but it's better than keeping it up when I'm wrong. Okay, LeBron's too much of a pussy to say, I may have been a little bit overzealous in my tweet. This is what LeBron should have tweeted. I was overzealous in my tweet about that cop. I need to take I need to sit a couple plays out. I'll be back after I rethink this. And then apologize to that cop and move on with your life. That's it. But he's going to use this to his advantage. I took the tweet down because it's being used to create more hate. This isn't about one officer. Okay, well, what is it then? You actually outed him. You doxed him. You tweeted out a picture of the guy. You said, you're next. Well, what's it about? You're talking to one guy here. So it absolutely was about one officer. It's about the entire system, and it's about the entire system, and they always use our words to create more racism. Yeah, LeBron, you're an adult. This is like a fourth grade response to this whole thing. You fucked up. Just own it, man. No big deal. You got it wrong. It's okay. It happens. People will forgive you. I would forgive you. But don't sit there and try to make this more than what it is and deflect and make it seem like you're getting rid of the tweet, but, trying to talk your way out of it. It's bullshit. I am so desperate for more accountability. There was accountability. It was a video. Okay. Just as the video of Chauvin convicted him of murder, the video of this brilliantly heroic cop who had the horrible job of killing a 16-year-old girl to save another person's life. The accountability is all there in the video. This kid was going to bury the knife into another person. Lawful, but awful. I'm sorry, buddy. It's just not going to work. And, at the end of the day, this one is going to, people are going to, you see, the way this is working out is, in Chauvin's case, 100% I am on the side of the prosecution, 100% on the side of the family of Floyd. This guy was a criminal. Derek Chauvin is the worst cop you could possibly have. Cop who shot Adam Toledo, not the same. 1,000,000% not the same. And I think most of you realize that. This incident, not the same. Quit trying, media, to make it seem like these are all together. They're not. 1,000,000% different. And that is my opinion, and you should make it yours. I would love to have you on this show to be part of it. Let me help your business. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I can tell you how it works. And the live stream and the open of the Eric Zane Show podcast are brought to you by A&E Heating and Cooling. My gosh, I love these people so much. You have just a handful of days left in the month of April to sign up to get the air conditioning tuned up and ready to go. Yeah, I know you're not really thinking about the air conditioning right now because it was like 27 degrees this morning, but by God, it won't be too long. 616-516-8579. 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling. Yes. Okay. Utilizing the Comfort Maker brand of air conditioners and furnaces if you need them. A&E Heating and Cooling. Got a car dealer that's involved in this whole thing, this whole charade. Sarah Honda Granville, SERRA. SarahHondaGranville.com. Shop online, shop in person. If you are in West Michigan, they are on Kennewa, right near 44th Street. Right, not like on the corner, but right near it. Kennewa, next to the Cracker Barrel, across from the car wash, right there. Huge campus, brand new, certified pre-owned, and used cars, all there, and you can shop online. SarahHondaGranville.com. Honda vehicles, some of the most dependable in the world today, and they run forever. SarahHondaGranville.com. Shop online. Please mention my name, Eric Zane, when you shop. All right. Let's see. Trevor says, Eric, don't be afraid to give Free Beer and Hot Wings constructive criticism. I'm not. They took a jab at you this morning saying you used to wear LA Looks gel in your hair. Well, I still do, frankly. There is nothing wrong with LA Looks gel. Did they say, hey, there used to be a guy that works here? Did they do that one? That's always fun. There, too often, and I'll have to go back and listen to it, but too often they'll like say, yeah, remember that guy who used to work here? They always say it that way in some really cute way. It's very adorable. That happens often when they're, doing things like, hey, let's go around and tell each other about our day yesterday. Or, hey, let's do a random topic, or other cool things that we used to beat the shit out of back when it was actually a morning show instead of a bunch of people just hanging out. But that's just me. All right. Eric, you should try to get a hold of the life that the cops save. I'd love to hear her opinion on all of it. I'm guessing that won't happen. We will probably never hear from that person. That would probably eliminate, if she spoke and said, you know what, I am so thankful for that cop saving my life. Boy, that's a pickle to be in. The girl who got her life saved. Where does she stand on all of this? Because she's got, the weight of the world on her if she says, oh my God, that cop saved my life. And if you're LeBron James, he's painted himself into a corner. If that girl comes out and says, I want to thank that cop for saving my life, LeBron James is going to feel like such a dickhead. All right. I see the newcomer on the show on the live stream. That would be the one and only Principled Uncertainty, who comes to us from the audience of Who Are These Podcasts. And, I think it's safe to say we have won this individual over. Got a little taste of the show and has been enjoying it every single day. And I'm learning that Principled is a resident of the great country of Ireland, which is just awesome if you think about it, that we live in a world where here I am with $500 worth of equipment, can be doing this show, and some guy halfway around the globe in the beautiful country of Ireland is listening or watching the show, That is absolutely incredible. So this is confirmed by Principled Uncertainty. It says, I love it. I love the show. That's very interesting to me. I'm very intrigued by that, and so are a number of the Zaniacs. That's why I am, at this moment in time, Principled Uncertainty, I am inviting you this very second on the show with me. Right this second, we would be able to see your identity. I guess if you clicked on the link that I would be willing to send you, I guess you could just be heard and not seen. But I'm inviting you, Principled Uncertainty, to send me your email. Just email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com, right this second. If you did that and say in the subject line, Principled Uncertainty. So I'd know it's you because I don't know your real name. I don't know if you're a male or a female even. I see a picture and a name. Okay. You would send me an email. I would then send you a link to this Restream feed. And then you would click on it. You'd put your name in or whatever alias you want to use. And then I would then hit a button, and then voila, you would be there with me. How about that? This is because it's so special. You're listening or viewing from another country. How fantastic is that? We can get a taste of what life is like in Ireland and what you're doing right now and what you do on a daily basis. So if you make that happen, this person says, give me 5 minutes. That is awesome. So I'll be looking for that, and then I'll invite you in, and then it'll be so much fun. All right. I'm really getting used to the platform that I utilize for the live stream is Restream, and they just expanded the capability, so I have that. I incorporated that yesterday with Dan Hasty, but I guess the comments went crazy and covered up his face, so that was weird. Sorry about that. Okay, I want to get into the story about Brett Favre a little bit too. This, again, will be another story that will be ignored on the radio because we want to have fun. We want to just be fun. We want to be wacky. Hey, what do you want to do, guys? Let's do nothing that the whole world is talking about. Let's just go around and laugh really hard at things that are sort of funny, but not quite that funny. Fucking idiots. All right. Brett Favre. Holy crap. First of all, a little bit of background with Favre. He kind of came out last week, and was explaining that he's a little bit sick and tired of athletes speaking out about sports, okay? And hold on a second here. I just had a major meltdown with this computer. Hold on a second here. With the whole deal about, I'm getting sick of athletes talking about sports and on and on and on. And so people had kind of were beating the guy up. But now they're saying that Favre, if he makes comments, it's the same thing. But, Favre is not an athlete anymore. So I don't know if that necessarily applies. Hold on a second here. This damn thing. It just went apeshit on me. I apologize. And I've been talking lots of shit. Because what Favre is saying right now is being taken out of context. And I had a link up from of his entire words. And damn it. And I had it quoted. And the problem is all of the media is making it seem like they're only taking a portion of his words. And that's a little bit of a problem. Because if you take just a portion of his words, it seems a little bit more suspect. But if you take the actual full quote of what he said, it kind of actually makes a little bit more sense. But it's crazy. I had one link up that covered the entire quote, and then the damn page went apeshit. Well, I'm just going to have to do it by memory. First of all, let me go over this. Favre said, I don't believe that Derek Chauvin intended to kill George Floyd. Now, everybody's pissed off about that. But everybody knows that, because if you look at the charge, second and third degree murder in Minnesota, which is what he was convicted of, the charges say right there, causes the death of murder 2 in Minnesota is causes the death of a human being without intent to affect the death of a person while they are inflicting or attempting to inflict bodily harm upon the victim. When the perpetrator is restrained under an order for protection, and the victim is a person designated to receive protection under the order. So because Floyd was restrained and because Chauvin had a knee on the neck, not intended to cause the death, but did. That's murder 2. So by that definition and by what Favre said, I don't think he intended to kill him. That is correct. And I don't know anybody who really thought that he was intending to kill him, because that's murder 1. And he was never under scrutiny for murder 1. Murder 3 is similar to murder 2, but it says causes the death of a human being while committing, conspiring to commit, or attempting to commit a felony. The restraint, the knee on the neck, those are all felonies that Chauvin was attempting to do. And then the guy died. Okay. It wasn't like he said, I am going to kill this guy. That would have been murder 1. What he did not even fit that charge. So it never happened. There was no murder 1. So what Favre said was, I don't think that Chauvin intended to kill him. That's true. Okay. If it wasn't Favre, first of all, that's stupid for Favre to say in the first place. But let's be honest here. Brett Favre is a dumb fuck. He's always been an idiot. He's been an idiot who could throw a football a mile and was too smart to take himself, or too dumb to take himself out of a game when he was injured. So he played like through all this. He's spitting up blood. As far as so damn stupid, it's unbelievable. He was a tough ass guy. There's no question. And I mean, Brett Favre, his ability was, all right, you guys go long and I'm going to throw it as far as I possibly can. And then that was it. So that's the only thing Brett Favre is good at. Okay. And now, judging by the size of his nose, it's drinking. I swear to God, that guy must be a drunk because his nose is so bright purple. My God. So him saying Derek Chauvin did not intend to kill George Floyd is 1,000,000% correct. It's stupid you'd even point it out, though, because A, it makes you look like an idiot because the rest of the world is stupid, too. They don't even know what... People think that Chauvin was trying to kill that guy. He wasn't. So him saying that shouldn't be a problem, but it is because Favre's kind of an idiot, okay? And I regret not having that this webpage in front of me because, like I said, the thing just went apeshit. But he then goes on to say that he in no way supports what Chauvin did. He understands. He said all the right things. Brett Favre said all of the right things in his actual quote, which nobody printed. all they did was ran with him saying Chauvin did not intend to kill George Floyd, which you should have been aware of that in the first place. Everybody knew that. So him, first of all, saying it is dumb because it's assumed, because you read the fucking charge, hopefully. But the problem is no one did. So now it just looks like he's a racist. And he's not. If people would take their time and just look at shit and read it, the world would be such a better place. I mean, seriously. It's embarrassing to me. So basically, everybody's all worked up over something that everyone already knew, but didn't know that everyone already knew it. Or maybe they didn't know it and are now thinking that something that is a fact is something that's racist. What? That's all stupid. All right. Linda writes in this, this can qualify for an email of the day. Hi, Eric. I've been listening to the Lost Zane recordings on Patreon ever since you started releasing them. I'm amazed you were able to build any chemistry at all with Julius. She adds, because he was such a dick and a C blocker on almost anything you were trying to do. Let me pause there. Yes, I think that kind of built a listenability, though. I think that actually made it started to turn and started to become a point of, I think it was going to help us grow, him doing that. It caused tension, conflict. In hindsight, at the time, drove me up a wall. You're absolutely right. She says, it's fun to listen to, especially to get his hot takes like older people's votes should only count for 50% of a younger person's votes because they have to live with the results for a shorter period of time. Okay, now just reading that, I wouldn't have remembered that he ever said that, but just reading that, that's fucking great. Let me just tell you right now, at the time, I probably didn't realize it, and it might have driven me up a wall. But if you have somebody who's willing to say something that is so off the wall like that, that is huge. You want that every time. That is what is sorely missing from the radio these days. That's why you have Around the Room segments 5 times a day, because nobody is willing to do what happened right there with that comment. Anyway, as much as I dislike him, and by the way, Linda, when you say you dislike him, that is a reason to hire somebody. That is awesome. You want to have someone that half the audience dislikes. You have to. She says, I'm curious for a Julius update. Do you think you could get him on the podcast? I doubt it, she writes, because he left without saying goodbye in another dick move. These are her words, but thought I'd ask. We need to know. Her questions. Are he and Laura still together? Did they get married? Do they have kids? She writes, God forbid. Well, I don't know, maybe. Did he really become an electrician? Is Jester still alive? Is the dog still a spaz? Did he get them kicked out of the apartment complex? Is Julius still a negative Nancy? Ha ha. Love the show. Keep doing what you're doing. Sign, Alabama Linda / Candy Crush Linda / Radio Voice Linda. These are all great questions. Things got off the rails with Julius and I. And, well, I shouldn't say got off the rails. There was a couple moments when I got upset at him, but I didn't hate Julius. At times, it's kind of like the type of deal with Julius where at the time it seemed like it was worse than it really was. And it actually, looking back on it, if I had facilitated that more, if we had facilitated the idea of that dynamic, it might have been even more successful, because frankly, you kind of want that type of tension in a room from time to time. I thought when Julius, myself, and Ben were doing the show, it started to get even more fantastic to me. And then I just heard from Ben the other day, and he wrote, we did a rap battle with Hipster Joe, and Ben loved that bit. And he goes, my God, Eric, this was funny. This was really, really funny. Our show was better than what we gave ourselves credit for. And I wrote back, really? Because I don't listen back to those shows. And I wrote, really? He goes, no, seriously, it was funny. It was really, really funny. And being removed from it, he listened back and he goes, I cannot believe it never caught on. And I go, yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea why there's maybe it was only funny to us. Maybe it was because we were stuck on this weirdo format. 107.3 is where radio formats go to die and radio shows go to die. And I don't know why that is, but they put a country station on 107.3 after we left. And it doesn't do anything. Nobody listens to it. It was on 94.5 where it would get 4 or 5 shares. Now it gets 1 shares. So I don't know. Maybe that's it. I have no idea. I would have loved to have been able to. Well, whatever. I don't even care anymore. But still, all good questions. Principal writes, sorry, I had to scramble to dig out my new mic. What app are we using? If the moment's passed, don't worry. I can call it again. I never show my face, by the way. Well, that's fine. I don't care. We'll just hear your beautiful voice. What I'll do is I'm going to reply to this young man or woman. I'm guessing we'll find out your gender when you speak. I'm going to send you a link. All you have to do, this is fun. All you have to do is click on it. It's going to ask you your name. You can put in your name however you want. And then I will see you before you show up for the audience. Once I enable, I'll toggle you in. There you are. You hear me. I hear you. It doesn't matter if you're using the shitty speaker on your computer or an actual mic. As long as that sound is transmitting through, we'll have you. So once you click on it, I'll know that you've joined. The audience won't be aware. And then there you are. It's that simple. Josh writes, is this person's real name Principal? I don't think so. Adam says, they are real Irish from Ireland. They're not going to put up with your shenanigans. I like your use of pronouns there. It's very woke of you. Let's see. Eric was divorced a few times, over with co-hosts at WBBL. Who drinks milk? Have you ever seen a scorpion? Who drives on the road at 1 a.m.? These are all questions by Julius. Josh writes, he was the original story ruiner, too. With Julius, it was like, all right, when we come back, and then I would give the tease, and then he would guess the ending, and he would get it right too often. It's like, dude, shut up. It's an old radio trick. My God. I learned my wokeness from you, Dad. He would guess everything. That actually pissed me off when he would do that. Holy crap. Okay, where are we? As I wait for Principal to get in here, I wanted to cover those stories. I have another cameo in the chamber that I have to do for Patriot Nick. I did a live one yesterday for Melinda on the Patreon, a live cameo. And if you want to see that, go to cameo.com/Eric Zane. It's the most recent one there. You can check out what I said to Melinda. She wanted me to give her a cameo. If you hire me on Cameo, it's going to cost you about $15.99. It's very, very inexpensive. I am the absolute best on Cameo. No one does a better cameo than me. Give me specifics about you, what want done, and we'll do it that way. Mother's Day is coming up, and I think I've been saying May 9th for days. Or I'm sorry, May 7th for days. It's actually May 9th. Hire me to say something for your mother for Mother's Day. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. I'll be hanging out with Mario tomorrow. Mario from the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I'll be hanging out with him at Mercy Health Arena for his indoor arena football team, the West Michigan Ironmen. They are playing Charlotte tomorrow night. Now, he's got a lot of irons in the fire. Of course, his name is on the convention center next to the arena. He's got now several locations of the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, and they're not all on the lakeshore. He's got 2 locations in Muskegon, where he works out of, one in Grand Rapids and one in Florida now, of all places. But anyway, get what you need to know about the mortgage when you reach out to Mario. Click on his logo at ericzaneshow.com, and that will lead you to what you need to know about how to reach out to him, or just call him 231-332-65. Hold on a second. I just got distracted. Reach out to Mario, 231-332-6505. Principal writes, do I have to allow both Cam and Mike? No. If you don't, you can leave those on and just move out of the camera shot. You can do that, or just don't enable the camera. Up to you. And then we'll just hear your voice. Don't care. As long as we have your voice. So I see that Principled right now is waiting in the queue. I see you there. I'll bring you in after I get done with these amazing ad reads. We'll have you beamed in from the beautiful country of Ireland. I am excited. This is really, really awesome. Hopefully this goes off flawlessly. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Mario, reach out to him about the mortgage. And if your credit is great, I encourage you to reach out to him about getting a lower rate, because a lot of you folks just pay your mortgage. You have no idea what about the rate, but you can get a rate for damn near 2%. And if you're paying 3.5% right now because you got a 30-year fixed mortgage 10 years ago, how about refinancing that deal for 15 years, save yourself thousands in interest, and drop that rate down to way low? Mario can help you through all of that. If your credit stinks, he can help you through that too. He helps everybody. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Before I bring in Principal, BK Guns and Stuff, they are here for you. If your weaponry gets damaged, 616-902-2447. 616-902-2447 for BK Guns and Stuff. Get your weaponry fixed from anywhere in the United States. They'll tell you how to do that. Okay. Right now, Principal Uncertainty joining us on the show from Ireland. How are you, Principal?
Hey, brother. All good.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. This is fantastic.
What's the volume like?
Well, what time is it in Ireland? Is it like the afternoon?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. And how did you discover the show? Tell everybody about that.
WATP. Every time. Greatest show on the internet.
How did you find out about Who Are These Podcasts? I mean, how did you stumble upon that show?
Well, I'm an old O&A fan, okay, kind of an ex-pest. And the first time I heard about them taking Opie down, I tuned in. It was one of the greatest shows I ever heard. I support the show. It's hilarious. And then all of a sudden, along came Eric.
Okay, very cool. I like that. Opie and Anthony, I'm reading Anthony's book right now, and it's become very evident about the fallout of that show, how they kind of fell apart. And then now that Opie is doing what he's doing, is it a little weird do you feel like you've turned on Opie too, or do you still like Opie? Oops. I can't hear you. Kate says he sounds like he's like his in-laws. I love it. I think he dropped. Try it back. Yeah, it actually disappeared. That's terrible. I want you back. So if I see you, I will bring you back in. Okay? We were off. Well, we're doing great, and then it looked like your feed got a little funky on us, and then we stopped hearing you. So click on the same link I sent you, and I'll try to bring you back in. But if not, that's okay. That is so fun. All right. I've got more emails of the day that I want to get to on the show. If we do see you again, Principal, by all means, just click on it, and then we'll be able to get to you. Yeah, it looked like you showed up again, and then it cut out. All right. Let's see if we can get this happening. Hey, all right. I think you're back.
Yeah, sorry, brother. Probably me.
That's okay. So are you anti-Opie?
I couldn't live without Opie. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't live in a world where Opie doesn't exist. I go there. I eventually kind of fall in love again. I think the man is due a comeback. Eventually, he will come back. He will team up with Kevin Brennan, and then the war will start, and it'll be a great thing.
Well, what's weird is I don't understand how somebody who can possess such knowledge do something that's so shitty on a regular basis.
Oh, he's the worst podcaster of all time. I have produced some terrible content, but nothing on the scale of Opie. He is the very nadir of media content. We love him.
Tell me about your content.
Well, I've taken all my videos down, but I've got a little podcast thing going, but I will never mention it here, obviously, because Carl must never know. So,
so I'll keep that a secret then.
Yeah, just between us, just the Zane.
Okay, no problem at all. What did you like about this show? I mean, take me through it, because this is a show that was I was lambasted on. Who Are These Podcasts? I was murdered on that show.
Yeah, but you've got a great sense of humor, man.
Oh, you just like the way the vibe of the show.
You're self-deprecating. You've got a good vibe. You've got professionalism, but I don't know. You don't take yourself too seriously, and you're genuinely funny. So,
what do you do? What do you do for money? And thank you for that. What do you do for money in Ireland? What do you do for a living?
I don't like to say, but
okay. Can you maybe be vague?
I work in the disability sector, let's say.
Are you rich?
I do okay. I'm not rich, but I'll do all right.
Okay. Now I was just reading. Is there some unrest going on in Ireland? I heard that things have been getting a little bit out of hand there lately.
Pretty close to where I work, but far away from where I live. It costs a lot of money to live far away from there.
Have you ever thrown a Molotov cocktail at the cops?
I have not. I've always had a mixed crowd of I love everybody. Do you know what I mean, man? Bigotry doesn't suit me.
What about listening to a show that's talking about things primarily in the U.S.? How is that? How can that possibly be interesting? I mean, I'm talking about all these cop killings. Does it still work?
Oh man, my dad is like a huge American fan. He spent most of his life traveling the States. We brought up in American culture. I just love American comedy, American talk radio and stuff. It's just always been an obsession of mine. So.
Is there this type of content that comes out of Ireland?
No, God, no.
Really? Why? How come?
Ireland's got very woke. I hate to tell you, Ireland is lost. It's got very, very woke of late. So I just ignore Irish media, to be honest.
This is awesome. How do you feel about Conor McGregor?
Oh, I love Conor. I mean, he's not a great human being, but he's an amazing fighter.
When it comes to moving the meter for content, Conor McGregor is one of the best. I think his ability to fight might be surpassed by his ability to generate interest for a fight.
Oh yeah, man, he's a star. He knows how to do it. He knows how to work the media. Unlike Opie.
Tio asks, who is in South Dakota, wants to know: can you do your best American accent?
Oh Jesus, I can't even do a Belfast accent, but I can't even impersonate myself. I just can't do it. I have no abilities that way.
How do people look at COVID in Ireland? Because here in the U.S. we've got this internal struggle with the masks and the vaccine, and how is it handled in Ireland? I
think we've seen divide everywhere in the West. It's gone left and right, people just falling into line. Same as everything, people just, if you're on the right, you're kind of anti-mask. If you're on the left, you're kind of pro-mask. In general, same thing. Nobody's thinking for themselves.
So it's very similar to the U.S. then?
It's exactly the same.
Okay. Are you vaccinated? Where do you stand on this?
I've had both vaccines.
Okay, so you are not stupid.
I'm skeptic. I'm a little concerned, right, about rushing in an mRNA vaccine. But on the other hand, I'm not so arrogant as to think that my scientific opinions are going to allow me to risk someone else's life. So I'll take it. If there's consequences, I'm old, I don't really care. I'd be worried about my kids taking it now. I would be worried because I think we haven't done enough long-term studies on it, but I'm happy to take it myself.
Chris is assuming you have knowledge about soccer. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Chris,
I'm a massive soccer fan anymore, but I like soccer.
Chris asks, what do you think about the Super League chats in Europe going on?
Oh yeah, it's nonsense, but it's collapsed. I'm a Liverpool man, so I was very happy to see it. I tried watching American football. I tried, but dear God, it stops every 4 seconds. What the heck going on?
Isn't
It
that
takes 50
crazy?
hours. What's
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, but the jargon is impenetrable.
Well,
Unless you
then,
brought up with it.
well, then you must be a fan of like Australian rules football or rugby, right?
Not really. I don't watch Gaelic. I don't watch rugby. I'm a small guy. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I'm not a great rugby player.
Because I mean, rugby has the best of both worlds. It's nonstop, and people beat the shit out of each other, and they don't even fucking wear pads, And then that when they're in that pile, the people are pulling on people's dicks and shit like that. It's crazy.
Man, I prefer boxing. Man, straight up, two guys in the ring. Bang. Love it.
This is all great. I tell you what, Principal, you've been great fun, and you can't be a stranger. The Zaniacs, we love people who are from different parts of the world. It's just kind of like this whole neat vibe of bringing in people from in this with this whole thing happening. So I tell you what, I thank you very much for this.
Yeah,
And
thanks, man. Sorry I speak so fast for all my American friends.
Wait, hey, you know what? You speak the way you speak. We'll catch up. And this is
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. Really
yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Hold on a second. Now, do you want to plug the podcast so people can check you out, or do you not want to do that?
Oh, I'm right here. No.
All right. Well, listen, I can understand you, and so it's cool, man. But I really appreciate you
Hey, big love, brother. Thanks
becoming a fan. So I appreciate it. All right, man. I'll talk to you. All right.
Yes, man.
There you go. That is Principled Uncertainty. That is so cool. How fun is that, man? All of a sudden, we're bringing in people from Ireland. Anytime at all. And the thing is, Principled, all you'd have to do is just click on the link, and I'd see you there. I'd be like, oh, there he is. Let's go. Some of you, if you over time ever get this link that I have, and I can regenerate a new one at any time, you'll be able to just click on the button, and then I'll see that you're there, and I can bring you in. But I haven't really disseminated that one yet. Okay, it's kind of like Zoom where the link doesn't change, but I do have the ability to change it if I want to. So, and if you click on it, it isn't like you can just show up there and start beheading people. Rick from TC Paintball says, I love fast talkers, more efficient. Rick, how is that? How is it going, Rick, with that link that you were supposed to send me for pre-signups for paintball? What happened there? I mean, it was one thing. Did you just give up? Come on. Jeez. I'm just busting your balls. Okay, that was cool. Very, very fun. Email of the day, another email of the day from my pal Allison, who's just full of them. First of all, Tim says, emailer Tim is known for these jokes, and they're usually terrible. Subject line, did Principled say he never shows his face just like all his dates? That doesn't even make sense. Do you really? I want you to do this, Tim. Write them out and then say them to someone at work, okay? At the shitty job that you work. Reach out to them and say, hey, is this any good? And when they say no, well, then, don't send it to me. All right. I think I lost Allison's email. Hang on a second. I'm a mess today. Jesus. Get your head out of your ass, Eric. All right. Concerning sentencing of Derek Chauvin. Because I'm like, boy, why do they have to wait so long after the guy was convicted? Why does it take 8 weeks? Allison used to work with the FBI. She wrote, just popped in on the podcast, and I heard you wondering why it takes so long from trial to sentencing. I can actually answer that. The delay is because the probation department has to compile a pre-sentencing report, which is a very detailed document about the defendant. The ones I used to see on the federal side of things were usually 30-plus pages, basically a mini biography. This aids the judge in the sentencing process. So basically, the judge, as far as that reads to me, is he's going to look back on the body of work of the individual to determine sentencing. Originally, my career plan was to be one of those report compiling probation officers. I got off course a bit, though. She wrote this yesterday morning. I'll be at the Griffins game, or yesterday afternoon. Yeah, I'll be at the Griffins game tonight. I hope it's a good one. First one back since the pandemic. Hubby and I are season ticket holders, but we are waiting until we get vaccinated to dive back into games. And waiting until we got vaccinated to dive back into the games. I'll see you there. I think there's still tickets available for the Monday game, by the way. So they only allow 750 fans in there, and these games have kind of like been makeup games, so it's been tough to like get the tickets, but get them while they last to those games. They're great fun. And we're starting to get a little bit of a vibe back, but it's not fully going to be back until the fall because, the way the season is set up this year, they're just playing. It's not like they're going to award the Calder Cup. They might have a round-robin tournament within the division, but there's not going to be any interleague play, and there's no traveling to Canada or anything like that. There's a whole Canadian American Hockey League division. So it's wonky, and it's only going to the middle of May. But still, it's fun. Get your mind off of the things going on. We do our best to keep you engaged and have a fun time. You can have a beer. You can have a hot dog. You better wear your mask so they'll throw your ass out if they have to warn you more than once. You got to put your stupid mask on. So keep that damn thing on when you go to those games, and then hopefully we'll have a summer off for the boys. And then in the fall, we're going to have the goal. I almost said the whole. The goal is a full damn season of hockey. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Man, I just am stoked about getting Principled Uncertainty on. And I kind of wish Principled had a shorter name. But and how about the air of mystery there? Principled does not want the identity known. The face does not want Carl to know about the podcast, does not want to promote the podcast. And he's like, oh, God, no, I don't want Carl to know about that. So that's interesting to me. There's a lot of mystery there. People are like, we got to know. We got to hear what the fuck this guy is talking about. Okay. I am on Patreon, and I have the Zane Asylum, my music-driven radio show, is going to be published today. And let me go over the playlist. It's my pal Dylan helped me out with the list. And Bob Q has a list, too. I actually did part of Bob Q's list last week, but this week, Dylan was all over it. Warren Zevon's Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. I'd never heard of that song. I think that's off of Excitable Boy. Never heard that song. Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart. Green River by Creedence. The Hollies, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. Which is crazy, The Pretender by the Foo Fighters. Band called Black 47. Great song, though. Never heard it. Called The Big Fella. Very Old, Piece of My Heart, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Let's Ride, Kid Rock. There was a nasty word there. I had to edit that out. You Could Have Been a Lady by April Wine, which sounds like a song somebody could get canceled to. 2 from Bob Seger, including Fortunate Son and No Man's Land. 2 from Springsteen, Murder Incorporated, and I'm Going Down. Bob Dylan, Gotta Serve Somebody. Old School, it's all old school. REO Speedwagon. Rolling Stones, Ocean Pearl by the band 5440. Great song. I'd never heard of it, and then I listened to it after you recommended it, and that is a sweet, sweet song. Vintage Doors, The Changeling off of L.A. Woman. Alice Cooper's Caught in a Dream. Lonely Boy by the Black Keys. Mr. Soul by Buffalo Springfield. And if I have time, Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult. That is a sweet-ass list. Some of you guys get all wonky. The latest one of wonkiness was Aram's, which included the Leonard Cohen song. Oh, my God. And the Concrete Blonde song. Ugh. Really, really terrible. He had some good songs in there, but those were not the ones. That was something. All right. You can, as always, send me a list along to eric@ericzaneshow.com of music for the Insane Asylum. You got to really be out there for me not to include your music. Okay? There is a fresh Adam's Oddity as well by the band Bread. So Adam's Oddity will be featured once again on the Insane Asylum, which I'd never even heard a song by the band Bread, because the name of the band is Bread. That's a horrible name for a band. But the song that I listened to called Mother Freedom was great. It was a great song. So they made great music, but that is a shitty name for a band. Bread. My God. Okay, so that's on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. $5 a month gets you all the audio. $10 a month gets you all the audio, all the video, and the live streams. That live stream capability allows you're going to be invited on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. You can actually be on the show with us. You're a member of the frickin' show, okay? That is for Patreon only. That alone is a reason to sign up. That show happens tonight on Patreon. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, to make sure that I invite you to that, because I'm quite literally doing it by memory. Who do I need? Okay, I can tell you off the top of my head, the return customers. Amanda, Patriot Nick, Kenny, Jimmy, Joe Morin, Boring Dean, the Schaefers, Chris D., Craig, Melinda, Rob G. I think I might have invited Rob G. My point is, I might not remember you. So send me an email right this very second. Tonight, Ben and Eric Patreon podcast on Zoom. Okay? And you can contribute to the show. I will talk to you. I will ask your opinion on things. You'll have a chance to play Bet on Ben, unless somebody wins or we run out of time. But it's fun. It's great. Okay? We'll start at 7, probably go to about 8:30. Me, you, Ben cracking up his shitty Twitter jokes. It's going to be great. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. They changed the oil on all of the Eric Zane Show podcast fleet of vehicles with a hold on the embellisher. I'm going to change the oil on the truck. I bought the oil from Jason Mays, and I'm going to do this, and it's going to be great. I'm going to crush it. All right. I'm going to, it's a DIY project that I want to do in my own garage, and damn it, it's going to happen. But anyway, get your vehicle's oil changed. If you're like me, take the cars to Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. I can guarantee you they won't screw up like I probably will. And for any type of vehicle repairs, to keep that car running fine, Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Irvines.com is ERVINES. ERVINES.com. Everything is touchless, contact-free. You basically drop the car off if you want, after hours if you feel like it. And then they check out the car, send you an email with what's wrong with it and what they've found and other, because they'll go over the car. If you want an oil change, sure, they'll do that, but they'll probably do a whole lot more checking out the car. Hey, you also need this flush, you need this oil, you need this, you need the antifreeze change, transmission fluids, a disaster, power steering fluids cooked. What do you want to do? Approve. They do the work. You pay the bill online, go pick up your car. Keys in a little lock box. You put in the code, get your key, get the hell out of there. That's how they do it. Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. This is one of these businesses that's really adjusted awesomely to the pandemic. They have it down. If you are in West Michigan, anywhere in West Michigan, even as far away as Kalamazoo or Muskegon or Lansing or frickin' Newaygo, take your car to Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Hold up. My Gift of Life Michigan are amazing, and I want you to go to their website. Get to their website by going to ericzaneshow.com. Click on the Gift of Life logo. There, you'll find everything you need to know about organ donation, okay? If there is a moment where you pass away, and I hate to even mention that, but it's a fact. We're all going to go through that. Don't hang on to that stuff. Give it away. You can save 8 lives right with what you got. Okay? Well, not all of you. Some of you, your organs are a disaster. I mean, I can just imagine if, Boring Dean donated his intestines, which is a thing, by the way. If Boring Dean donated his intestines, like if he donated his large intestine, which connects to his rectum, they would put it into the guy, and then like 3 hours later, a couple of pool balls would shoot out of the guy's asshole. And maybe a couple of class rings from strange men with big fingers. Maybe a set of keys. So it's not for everybody. I'm really hoping the folks at Gift of Life Michigan aren't listening to this sponsor read. What an asshole I am. Anyway, where was I? Gift of Life Michigan, ensuring that people get their lives saved through organ donation. You get more information by clicking on their logo at Gift of Life Michigan or at ericzaneshow.com. Click on the Gift of Life Michigan logo. That was all weird. Okay. Football player Aaron Donald is one of the best football players in the game. And this is crazy to me because it's a perfect example of how the world works. Because like a week and a half ago, you would have heard the story that Aaron Donald was in deep shit. And, anybody who saw it went, oh, another athlete being an asshole. Aaron Donald is an amazing defensive football player for the Rams, defensive end, and fast as hell, making a fortune, feared football player, big, strong, gigantic man, and he's awesome. Defensive player of the year. And so, the Rams fans are like, what's going on here? When Aaron Donald is accused of beating the shit out of a guy named DeVincent Spriggs in a fight that happened. It all started inside of a bar, and then it busted out to the outside of the bar. And DeVincent Spriggs is saying, I was assaulted by Aaron Donald. And so the story breaks that Aaron Donald is accused of assault. So that's ugly, The Rams are like, what are we going to do? The NFL's like, what are we going to do? Oh my God, this is another terrible thing. Everybody's throwing this guy under the bus. Honestly, had I had time, I probably would have done this story and said, oh, can you believe what Aaron Donald did? But just as time would permit, I didn't. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I wouldn't have judged this guy. I probably would have because that's how I roll. And then when shit is revealed, then I'll go, oops, sorry. But in this case, I actually didn't say anything. But it wasn't because I was being careful. Okay? I'm not going to take any credit for this in any way, shape, or form. Well, the video saved the day for Aaron Donald. Because this asshole, DeVincent Spriggs, who said, Aaron Donald beat the shit out of me. Well, he didn't. He didn't at all. And the way this all went was apparently Aaron Donald and this guy, they bumped into each other at the bar, and there was a drink was spilled, and it was all an accident. And then before you know it, this Spriggs guy was being real aggressive and going after Donald or something like that. But yeah, nothing really physically manifested. And then they went outside of the bar, this Spriggs guy, and a group of people started to stomp his ass. And you see, it looked like a scene from the movie Colors during the gang initiation. The camera is looking down, and all you see is fists and feet kicking this guy's ass. But what you don't see is Aaron Donald, who is 5 times bigger than everybody there. And he's like, oh, no, stop it. And then Aaron Donald is pulling people off of the pile and saying, no, let's be nice to him. Let's not beat him anymore. He didn't do shit. And this Spriggs asshole was like, yep, Aaron Donald did this. Aaron Donald did it, until the video surfaced. And as soon as the video surfaced, it became very clear that Aaron Donald had nothing to do with this. Not a damn bit. And so this idiot, DeVincent Spriggs, who had hired an attorney, and he takes pictures of himself with his eyes swollen shut. Aaron Donald did this, and the attorney's throwing Aaron Donald under the bus. Now this guy is like doing damage control, probably to avoid getting sued. He is looking to apologize. This actually is from a few days ago. I've been meaning to get to this story all damn week. His attorney says his client mistook someone else for Donald during last weekend's fight on Pittsburgh's South Side. Translation, was going to sue until he realized there's video that showed that Aaron Donald had nothing to do with it. I wanted to make this statement public and extend an apology to Aaron for what he's gone through, but I clearly know this was not him, said attorney Todd Hollis. Yeah, you better do that. Donald's attorney, Casey White, released a statement Monday saying Aaron only wants to put this behind him. He is moving forward. Yeah, you're lucky. The surveillance video showed the fight at the bottom, that happened at the Boom Boom Room. Big fight at the Boom Boom Room, which is just fun to say. Showed Spriggs at the bottom of the pile being kicked and punched by a group. Is there anything more gutless than stomping a person like that? That whole idea of when there's, all of that. Kicking a person when they're down, a random punches going in to beat the shit out of somebody. Why can't we go back to the day? Why can't we go back to the day when two people, knuckle up, they fight, when the guy goes down or the girl goes down, the fight is over. Okay? The idea that the fight can be going on and you can be there ready to go and then a punch comes in from the back, it's ridiculous. I think a lot of our problems in the world could be solved if we would just take away the big pile of people that are involved in the stomping, The defense attorney for Aaron Donald, Casey White, claimed 5 witnesses have said that Donald never touched Spriggs. Mr. Spriggs should send Aaron a thank you card, the attorney said, and absolutely right. The attorney told the TV station that he had an email from Pittsburgh police saying, I agree thus far there's no evidence from the video that shows Donald assaulting the victim, period. Police told KDKA they are still reviewing the video and other evidence and will not comment until the investigation is complete. Well, yeah, you don't need to. We can see it. He's just standing there. The guy's just standing there going, what's going on, guys? And he's pulling people off the pile. Ridiculous. Sounds like a money grab to me. And then the video proved it right. A lot of our stories today have been centered around video. You know what's crazy is when it comes to video, people are like, oh, man, thank God we're getting all the cops have video cameras. The truth will be revealed. And like in the story about the cop who killed the 16-year-old, the truth was revealed. So let it be, man. I mean, my God. The same way the video ended Chauvin, the video is vindicating this cop. Okay. The petition has not fallen on deaf ears for a legend of the small screen. I cannot believe he looks as old as he does. Who knew? What did he play? LeVar Burton. He was on Star Trek The Next Generation. He was the character who was blind. What was his name? Grody? Or was he Data? What was he on Star Trek The Next Generation, LeVar Burton? I think it was Grody. If any of you can help me with this one. Jordy! Yes! Oh. Jordy. I thought it was Grody. My God. Jordy. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I'm getting all of these things combined. Geordie LaForge, and I referred to him as what did I call him? Grody? Gordy? I don't even know what I said now. Geordie LaForge. LeVar Burton, who looks great, by the way. He's got like salt and pepper going on. He's got the little patch of fur under his lip that's silver. He's wearing a tuxedo in this picture. He is going to be one of the final guest hosts to close out season 37 of Jeopardy. LeVar Burton, who, I mean, has he done anything since he played Grody on Star Trek The Next Generation? He's been vocal about wanting to be a guest host on the show. Earlier this month, he shared a change.org petition on Twitter, writing, "Leaving this here in the event that the powers that be are listening." It seems they were. 246,000 signatures as of yesterday. Jeopardy said, hell yes. You know, this has been quite an adventure for Jeopardy with the passing of Trebek, which was, I mean, he was amazing. I loved Alex Trebek. His passing, I mean, he hung in for as long as he could. And by the way, just once, can there just be just one person who actually beats pancreatic cancer? I mean, talk about it is such a death sentence. I mean, you have a better chance of survival if you jump into a vat of blood and then jump into the ocean with hungry sharks. You have a better chance of surviving that than you do pancreatic cancer. I mean, my God, if it kills Swayze, you know, I mean, the guy who starred in Roadhouse, then you know it is going to be undefeated. Pancreatic cancer is pretty much undefeated. I wonder, let me do a quick search here. Has anybody ever defeated pancreatic cancer? Apparently there is. It's because it says, why do some people beat the odds against pancreatic cancer? I guess that there has been. I've never heard of a one, but apparently it does happen. God, find a cure. All right. Amanda says, is that what Dude Shadoway has? Yeah, he does have pancreatic cancer. It's I guess the answer was right there in front of me, and I had no idea. Oh, you're saying Jeff Bridges? I don't think he has pancreatic cancer. I thought you were talking about the Dude Shadoway, which I just made that up, that he has pancreatic cancer. All right. So LeVar Burton is going to be on Jeopardy. That is awesome. 246,000 signatures, as I said. Thank you to all for your passionate support. I'm overjoyed, excited. You made a difference. Anderson Cooper is currently on the show. I'm guessing he'd be fairly good at that. Other guests included George Stephanopoulos, Robin Roberts, David Faber, and sportscaster Joe Buck. I don't know if all of those are done yet, but I think that that's all cool. They should bring somebody on there who, you know, like, has fucked up and then gone away for a long time. And don't even tell anybody that it's happening. Just have them show up, and then the awkward ensues. Like, who was the comedian who went on stage and was saying the N-word? He was on Seinfeld. What was his name? Horshack on Seinfeld? Kramer. He went by Kramer. Michael Richards. That's it. Michael Richards. Bring back Michael. He hasn't done shit since then. Oh, my God. And, you know, if Michael Richards ever did come back in any type of capacity from that, that's really saying something, that anybody can turn it around. Because that was, I don't even like thinking in my head of how that played out. I feel like if I think it, you're going to hear it, and I'm going to get in trouble. It was that ridiculous what happened with that guy. Oh, boy. And then the whole deal when he showed up on Letterman via closed circuit, and Jerry was sitting there, and stop laughing. It's not funny. Oh, it kept getting more awkward. Oh, they need to maybe like I don't know. Put Brett Favre on there. He's an asshole. Or put the My Pillow guy on there. Somebody who's really polarized, and just throw them up on Jeopardy. Have My Pillow guy next to gun control high school kid, Parkland, David Hogg. Hogg and My Pillow guy will team up to host Jeopardy. You know, I mean, there's real opportunity here for hijinks. And I think that they need to dive in with that. LeBron James and the cop who killed the 16-year-old on Jeopardy. They can host it together. I mean, seriously, these are great opportunities. And I can't even believe I'm even saying these things. These are terrible ideas. Don't pay attention to me. This is awful. Andrew Dice Clay, I love that. Concerning Michael Richards. Principal writes, I'll excuse anyone a moment of madness, but he revealed something dark about himself that day. I like a naughty joke or two, but I never turned to pro-lynching. No, you're not kidding. That's why I think it would be so fantastic if he came on there. I mean, imagine that. If they promote mystery guest, you're going to love the mystery guest, and no one knows. Like, actually, only one person knows who it is. Because as soon as two people knows, the world knows, you know? So only one person knows. And then the door opens up, and he goes, hey, I'm back. Oh. All right. So LeVar Burton is doing it. That's awesome. Good for him. Okay. Got one more story for you, and then I've got the asshole of the day. Nominations, send them virtually on the live stream, whoever you want. If you want to carry your pistol concealed, there's one person that you need to call if you are in West Michigan. May is going to be a busy month. If you need more information about classes to carry your pistol concealed, you need to call upon Prince Arming. All right? Click on the logo at ericzaneshow.com, and that will take you to the Facebook page, or you can go to princearming.com. The class will cost you $125. All the information is there. You've got a ladies-only set of classes coming up in May. That's over 2 days, all right? 4 hours each class. You don't even need to own a gun. Just get into the class, give them the $125, take the class. After you pass the test, you're going to get a certification. Then you can go and apply for your license. Okay? Then that shows up in the mail after the background check, after the fingerprinting. This is all from Michigan, of course. You'll go to your county. Cost you $110 to apply for your license. And then when it comes to getting your gun, well, Prince can walk you through that as to everything you need to know about that. But basically, you just go to your favorite gun store and you say, I want this handgun because I'm going to carry it concealed. Or better yet, you go to some of the fine ranges in town here and you give them your ID and you have them walk you through a gun that works for you, you know? And then you determine which gun you think, after you play with it a little bit at the range, what do you think will be a perfect gun? It could be a 38, maybe a 9, maybe a 45, whatever it is. Maybe a 50 cal, some big dirty hairy deal. I don't know, whatever. But then, you know, of course, buying the gun, that's a process too, which they'll tell you all about that at your favorite gun shop, which, by the way, I need a gun shop on the podcast. So there you go. That's how it works with Prince Arming. Call up Steve, 616-204-1705. Hey, I want you to call upon Throat/Dale to get any part of your property power washed with superior cleaning and power washing. 231-740-4098. Booking now. It's filling up fast. You can have Dale come power wash the house, power wash the deck, Power wash the driveway. Power wash the landscaping, decorative bricks, all that stuff. Make it look good as new. Click on his link, or I should say his logo at ericzaneshow.com. There's some before and after photos about how great it looks when he's done. He's awesome. He's the most affordable in the area. You're putting a Zaniac to work. 231-740-4098. 231-740-4098. And if you have a restaurant, have Dale clean it. It's an after-hours job. Everybody goes home after they're done serving the customers. Dale shows up on the overnight, cleans that place spick and span. Daily, every other day, weekly, whatever you want. Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. That's /Dale, 231-740-4098. Last but not least, the honors go to Cornhole America this time around. My God. It was Principal who said, that's called cornhole? Yeah, you got the boards that are set up however far from each other. There's a hole in the middle. You throw the bean bags. It goes in the hole. You score points. You get close to the hole. You score points. You put whatever you want on the set of boards. It's big, you know. You can put whatever logo you want on there. Any design you want, okay? You can put it on a set of cornhole boards. They can be sent anywhere in the USA. They range from about $170 to about $210, depending on what you want put on there. Cornholeamerica.com. If you search Eric Zane Show in the search field on their website, you will see my cornhole boards. The bags are custom made. The boards are custom made. All there. Cornholeamerica.com. Okay? We good? What do we have for asshole of the day? There's some gun talk I see. Adam says, I had a Cobra Mac 11 for a few years. Only 9 I ever owned. Let's see. What do we got for our asshole today? Anybody got any nominations? Just I'm kind of scanning over it right now. Okay, I don't have anything really pressing. That means you're probably going to leave it up to me, and I'm up for the challenge. LeBron, does LeBron get a nomination for, first of all, the initial tweet indicting the cop saying your time is coming or you're next, and then showing the image of him, which his identity wasn't supposed to be posted. LeBron got his hands on it and posted that. Then he deleted it, and then he came back to Twitter and said, I'm angry, and then kind of said in longer form what he said in the first tweet, which didn't make any sense. So there's that. Favre. Could it be Favre? Favre said Chauvin didn't intend to kill George Floyd, which is true. He didn't. I don't think Favre did anything wrong at all. If you look at the charges, it's murder 2, murder 3, say you didn't, there was no intent to kill, but because of your unlawful actions, you did. Favre's not an asshole of the day. He's an asshole for other reasons. But I don't think he's an asshole of the day candidate. Everybody for throwing him under the bus. The media. Now we're talking. All right. How about the guy who accused Aaron Donald of beating the shit out of him? What the hell was that guy's name? That would be DeVincent Spriggs. By the way, you can cast your vote still as I'm going through the candidates for Asshole of the Day. So DeVincent Spriggs gets a nomination. The media for indicting Favre. LeBron James. Michael Richards, Kramer, just on principle. And that is all I have nominations for Asshole of the Day. Check some of the votes. I see a few comments that might sway. Principal's microphone. It did sound hollow. It sounded like you were talking through your computer. When you go back and listen to it, you might be able to pick that out. So I don't know what was up with that. Check settings. Yesterday, Derek Chauvin, for obvious reasons. Does it drive you guys crazy How do you feel when it comes to a podcaster who, conventional wisdom might tell the average person that because people can never pin me down. No one knows how I'm going to feel on a various issue. Some people might be like, Zane, it doesn't surprise me that you were against Derek Chauvin, or you were all for him being convicted. It doesn't surprise me. And then I'll get other people that will say, Zane, you surprise me that you were supportive of George Floyd. It surprised me you were supportive of George Floyd. It surprised me that you didn't support Chauvin, or I'm surprised that, I get a lot of that because it like I said, it's based on the story with me. Like, Chauvin is guilty, and I'm glad that scum-sucking asshole is off the streets and going to spend the rest of his life in prison. But there's no way in hell that I'm going to indict this cop who is an absolute hero. Conventional wisdom might tell you, oh, Zane's woke. He's going to side with somebody like LeBron James. Is that weird? Is that strange? Because it shouldn't be. It's not all in. You can't do it that way. You can't operate that way. By the way, LeBron isn't that woke because he played basketball in China with all the oppression going there. So there you go. Fuck you, LeBron James. You are the asshole of the day. Okay? You've earned that. If you've ever been a good guy, congrats. But right now, you're the asshole of the day. Hard and fast. Okay? All right, folks. That's going to do it for the Eric Zane Show podcast on this beautiful 22nd of April, 2021. I appreciate you all for being part of it on the live stream and maybe getting the audio podcast later on and wherever you download podcasts. It is very, very appreciated. Very, very much appreciated. I want to end with Jimmy in beautiful Portland, Maine, with his music. I appreciate that as always. You guys are the best. I'll talk to you on the Patreon, and don't forget the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast is tonight. So every time you turn around, there's new content on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane, $5 or $10 a month. And send me an email that you want to join me on the Zoom with Ben. Have a good one, folks. Till next time. Bye-bye.